favorable weather. The report I was getting was 3 to 5, gusting 15 knots. It's not horrible. It's not unfishable, but it's not necessarily super pleasant.
Well, we talked about that today would be a day we thought a fair amount of boats would go out, but that Thursday and Friday will be likely slower days. Saturday and Sunday, I think, will pick up. We want to switch gears here, Katie. You know, this tournament is impossible without, of course, the anglers, but our great advertisers or sponsors as well. And one of those is Bob Pino, Nikki Pino, Hook Optics. Of course, Optical Galleria is their store, but Hook Optics are these great glasses that all of us here on the docks are wearing, and they've been a longtime sponsor of the WMO. From your boat to the boardwalk, Hook Optics delivers clarity you can count on, featuring state-of-the-art polarized lenses and made-in-the-USA frames. Hook Optics is changing the game in performance eyewear. Bob, it's great to see. I know we go back with another venture of mine with high school football. We'll put that aside, though. We're talking fish here today. But, Bob, it's great seeing you. And, Katie, you already remarked earlier a few minutes ago about these wonderful glasses. If Bob came through in a pinch for me, I left my Hook Optics at home, so I needed a spare pair. He came through. But, Bob, we love him. But welcome. And just first talk about your experience and connection here with the White Marlin Open.
Oh, well, with the White Marlin, I mean, I remember being a kid, and I remember seeing a humongous – it was just gigantic. I mean, I was maybe 15 or something like that, and there was a boat right over there called the Allison, and the whole back of that boat was teak, and it just blew us away. And we just grew up watching it. We started fishing on little itty-bitty boats, just venturing out the inlet, and just got bigger and bigger and bigger. And the first year they opened Sunset, we had a 29-foot aquasport in there, and we've been fishing the ocean ever since. And then my kids got into it. My brother has a company called Squid Nation. Anthony is the captain of a 62-foot Blackwell, I think it's called a Blackwell, and called the Sea Hag, and he was on the Blood Money. They weighed a fish. He says that was one of the biggest thrills of his life was weighing a fish at the White Marlin Open. And Chris, he runs our store in Ocean City, and he's like the backbone. He takes care of all the optical there, but as well as producing some of these new products in the frames and the lenses. So it's a family affair. Nikki is, if Chris is the backbone, Nikki's the heartbeat. She is behind the scenes. People don't see her too much. She's down at Marlin Fest right now with the Hookmobile. And we just grew up around it. We started working with them probably 8 years ago as an optical galleria, bringing sunglasses and selling and servicing the people. And the store here is 11 years old, and we knew that there was a need for prescription sunglasses, so we started working on that, and now it's 11 years old. We have our own collection.
Yeah. Bob, I think you touched on a lot of really interesting things that I really want to expand on, but I don't want to take away from you by letting this tuna come in. So why don't we take a break and come back to this conversation?
You got it.
All right, well, it looks like we got a tuna flag, Andy.
We do. This is the Build Acres out of Elizabethtown, Pennsylvania. Looks like they brought their fan club here. And yes, tuna.
As you just talked about, we had a lot of tuna yesterday come in, so we'll see if this board changes again very quickly. So from White Marlin to tuna here.
Yeah, Mike, I think you told me we weighed 13 tuna yesterday.
Correct.
Of which all were between, I don't know, I'd say 47 and 55 pounds, except for one that was quite a bit larger. Got me a drink of the White Marlin bourbon, thanks to the fans. Shout out.
95.
See, this is what I love about this tournament, the way it's evolved is here's a 28-foot Boston whaler with outboards, and they don't have to compete against the billfisher. They can if they wish, but here they can compete in their own class and still win good money.
Yeah, absolutely. Bob, you're spot on with that. And we've seen a number of them. We thought the weather would deter them, but we've seen a number of those that have gone out with the outriggers that have made it here to the scales, which is great to see.
They're hardy souls.
I love that you bring that up, Bob,
Yes.
because right now our leading tuna division our tuna weight for the outboard division is the Bow Down with a 52.5-pound tuna. And they're standing to win $260,000 at this moment unless this boat beats it.
Angler on this is Braden Forsman from Muncie, Pennsylvania. £56, moves into second place. 2025 White Marlin Open.
Amazing.
Braden Forsman on the Build Acres. 56-pound
Congratulations.
And these guys were in the outboard division. So that's going to take some money in that division.
So that takes the lead in the outboard division, you guys. That bumps Bow Down, right? Build Acres has taken the lead in the outboard tuna division and second overall with this 56-pound tuna.
Well, it pays to get into a number of Calcuttas, and we'll see how much it pays out ultimately. But again, for them, a really good day today. We've seen this active tuna division here so far this week.
And we have the family of the Build Acres right here in my left ear. You do not ever apologize for your stoke. I don't want that. I just want to say shout out to you guys for showing up to support your team. I think that's awesome.
And what a
Definitely
thrill.
don't
I mean,
apologize.
you don't know how many people have fished this for years and never made it to that position where they're at, not only leading a category, but even coming in and weighing a fish. I mean, there's some years 460 boats and 40, 50 weigh a fish. So that's a thrill. That's a thrill.
The White Marlin Open, definitely their standards, their minimums, they make it difficult. They make it really difficult for these teams. You have to catch the right fish. Make it difficult for these teams to come into the weigh station, and I love that. It just showcases that conservation mindset.
Andy, I know you're down there. You're going to get a few words with the angler on that one. But as Bob said, Hardy Souls coming back might have been a little bit rough this afternoon, going out better.
I asked the captain how it was, and he said it was rough. He said, but we only had one wave come over the top of our boat. Right? So, let's give it up for the Build Acres for going out there, right? And they were rewarded, right? It was rough, I'm sure, on the way back in anyway, and rewarded with right now a second place tuna fish in the tournament.
A lot of the outboards we've seen, Mike, they haven't had a cabin. They haven't had a way for our teams to get in and out of the elements. And so I think that Build Acres probably really took advantage of that today by testing these elements, getting themselves out there. It paid off with a 56-pound tuna, and they were able to have a probably cold, wet, uncomfortable ride back, but they had windshield wipers, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and look, I certainly respect those boats that decided because of the weather that they weren't going to take their outrigger out, but it has worked out well for those that have, as we've seen a number come in, as I mentioned a few minutes ago.
You know that picture's going to go up in somebody's office right there.
Absolutely.
Shoot, if it were my house, it'd go right over the bed.
Why do you build me up, buttercup, baby, just to let me down, and mess me around, and then worst of all, you never thought, baby, when you see you will, but I love you still, I need you, more than anyone, darling, you know that I have from the start, so build me up, buttercup, don't break my heart. I'll be over at 10, you told
Hey, Captain, Andy Motzko here. Congratulations on that fish. Let's see, this is your third day of fishing. You were out each of the 3 days?
Yes. We released a white the first day, we released a white the second day, and we caught this tuna the third day.
And was today the roughest? Was there?
It was rough. We had one wave went about a foot over the top of the boat.
Well, my son said that. You told him that's when you decided to come back in.
We pointed the boat right straight to shore and started trolling to shore.
But you did have this tuna on board at that point, and you felt no.
No, we were headed to shore. About 10 minutes after we headed to shore, we hooked up.
Well, fortune blessed you today. And what did it feel like coming into the scales here at the White Marlin Open with that tuna on board?
We've been here before, and we've always been under. So it felt good.
Okay, well, congratulations. Second place tuna right now.
Way to go.
All right, good luck to you.
Thanks.
Good job, y'all. Huge congrats for the Build Acres. Second place overall tuna, day 3 at the White Marlin Open.
Well, it was worth that trip back, but you heard him just say that they were making their way back because of the weather, and then they got that tuna. So that's interesting storyline right there with that catch. But as we continue here, we've got Bob Pino of Optical Galleria, but his famous Hook Optics. And Katie, I wanted to point out or ask you, having fished all these years, about the importance of eyewear for the captains, the mates, and the anglers. Obviously, Bob and his staff doing a great job filling a niche, filling a need, but talk about the importance of that, because when you're out there and the sun's beating down off that water, or I should say reflecting off that water, you need some serious protection.
Yeah, Mike, I'm really glad you brought that up. So if you guys don't know, I've got over a decade experience as a professional crew on sport fishing boats. 100-ton captain, professional mate, angler, all the things, right? So, Bob, when I pick eyewear, I'm extremely picky about it. Now, I haven't gotten to fish in these yet, but I will say that so far I'm pretty happy with it. But the reasons why I'm picky is because, exactly like you said, Mike, eyesight is essential out on the water. We've already talked about how these are surface feeders. A lot of times you actually see the fish before it eats, and you need to be able to be vigilant, and staring at the water all day long can just be so draining on your eyes. It could be so exhausting on your eyes, and having a quality set of polarized lenses is very important. Also, lens color plays a significant role, and for me, the frames, the weight of the frames plays a big role. I don't like so much having hinges pushing on my face, and I don't like having the lenses be too heavy. A lot of times I think and you can help me on this one, Bob. But
Katie, pardon me for 1 minute. I just want to give Build Acres their due.
Yeah.
Second place tuna. Let's give them a cheer. All right, thank you.
I don't like having my lenses be too heavy on my face, so I'm very picky about them. But another thing is I want water to be able to repel quickly off my lenses. A lot of times we have high spray situations if it's rough, or if we're backing down on a fish and we need to be able to see. And so, Bob, knowing that those are my preferences, how can you expand on how your product fits my needs as a professional on the water?
Well, I first want to express that one of the most important things we wanted to do is protect your guys' eyes. These are built for fishermen, by fishermen. We're fishermen. Anthony's a captain. So we knew what was needed to go into these glasses. So the ultimate in polarization, anti-reflective treatment on the back side. So people don't think about that, but light does sneak in the backside of the glasses, and we don't want that reflecting from the backside of the lens back to your eye. So we put an anti-reflective coating on the backside of the lens, so it does not reflect back to your eye. So it makes it very comfortable, almost like looking through a binocular or something like that. When you put it right up to your eye, everything's super clear. Well, they put anti-reflective coatings on the binocular so you get the clearest picture, and your camera lens. So now we put it on the back side of the glasses, and that gives you super clear vision.
Love
Again,
it.
the UV protection is very important.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to get to your lens in just a second, but our Thermoforce lens, which is our gray lens in our Italian product, not only blocks out the UV light, but it also blocks out the infrared light. And the infrared causes heat, and it just keeps your eye totally safer. It is a cooler sunglass to wear.
Wow, I never once thought about heat playing a role in my sunglasses.
But when you're fishing in Costa Rica and it's
Hot,
98 degrees and you're
sizzling
wearing
like
the black
bacon in the
sunglasses,
cockpit.
yeah, and just that little bit of difference can really cool you down. And you think about it, you had the eyeball, the fish's eyeball the other day. Well, our human eyeball, we have the cornea, and then behind the cornea, we have the crystalline lens. And when we're young, that lens is really nice and flexible. You can see up close, you can see in the distance, but as we age, our arms start to get shorter, 42, 45 years old, and then it turns into a cataract. And they did a study in the 70s with Chesapeake Bay watermen, and they found out that the watermen who did not wear sun protection got cataracts 30% sooner than the people who wore sun protection.
Did y'all hear that? 30% sooner for those that did cataracts, for those that did not wear sun protection on
And
their eyes.
that's way back in the 70s, and they figured it out there. So it's pretty important. And like I said, now, you were talking about your lens and the comfort and the clarity. Katie is wearing the hydro lens. There's two reasons this lens is pretty amazing. It's as clear as glass. There's something nerding out here a little bit called the ABI number. So the hydro lens is as clear as glass, but as safe as polycarbonate. But the real reason we like to call it the hydro lens.
Oh my gosh, I'm
is-
excited.
Here we go. Hopefully that shows up. It just rolls right off it, and then you don't even.
Stop.
You were talking about taking the spray. So when you're taking the spray, you're out on that outboard that was just right
There's
there.
like
You're out
3
there all day
drops.
taking the spray. Well, that salt dries up on your lens. If you don't get that lens off before you clean it off like this, you're going to scratch your lens. There you would just be able to pour the water on it and take that right off, and then you clean it off.
That's amazing, Bob.
And that,
I know we got to go.
Some of that's bourbon spray from last night
Yeah.
in there, too. So.
It's
know we
true, I
gotta
gave
go.
him my bourbon glass.
I just really quickly want to tell you, we name our frames after iconic boats and programs. Bill Fisher, Last Call for Frankie, and Reef Builder for Monty Hawkins. And they made in the USA.
Amazing.
Katie, one last thing.
Oh, stop.
Okay? The nylon material is incredibly strong.
Very
So
cool,
you gotta
stop
love the
by an optical
demonstrations.
galleria. We sell them at the retailers all around here. And we're right over there and at the Marlin Fest.
Hey, Bob, thank you
Amazing.
so much.
Thank you,
I tell you,
guys.
the partnership
okay,
is amazing.
I'm pretty
hey,
sold. I'm pretty sold.
these
Thank
guys,
you so much, Bob.
family, and they fish in this tournament as well, so they got all
Huge
the bases
supporters.
covered.
Yeah, let's
Unique
get the
glasses,
Sea Hag in here tomorrow.
Hook Optics
Woo! Let's
are the
go
ones
see
to
Hag.
get. Hey, it's
Thank you,
day
Bob.
number 3 of the 52nd annual White Marlin Open. We've seen a white, we've seen a tuna. There's a lot more to come. Keep it here. We're back with more.